Hi everyone, my name is Christian Uzomba Uche, and in this video I will be walking you through my C++ program that manages an inventory system. This was part of my CSE 310 applied programming project at BYU Idaho through the Pathway program. I implemented several object-oriented features and file operations to demonstrate real-world problem solving using C++. Okay, so this is actually my README file, and I am currently using the clip charm, to make this video, so that I will be able to post that on my YouTube, and so that we can be able to watch the the video. All right, so very quickly, I am going to do something very fast. So I'm going to delete this text file. I'm going to quickly delete this text file. Um, I'm going to delete this and take that off. All right, so I'm quickly deleting that. And this is my folder, inventory system. And here I have this inventory.c++. On my last video I discussed on this code. Okay, on my last video I made a video on this code, and I explained how all of this work. But in this video I had to modify this for my final um, CSE 310 apply programming project. So I had to modify that code to be able to do some certain things. All right. The overview of this program is this program will let users to add, view, save, and load inventory items. All right. So each item has a name, quantity, and price. I also included a subclass for perishable item using inheritance, and I use virtual functions to demonstrate polymorphism. Polymorphism, I actually use that in C sharp, and I'm also going to use that in C++. So polymorphism will actually help me as data is going to be saved and loaded from a file. I use dynamic memory, which is via new and delete, okay, for creating object at runtime. So I'm quickly going to explain how all of this code works. Okay, so I had some parts commented. So I commented some parts in this code. All right, very quickly, I'm going to take it step by step, and I'm going to be a little bit fast. So on my class item, I define a class item here. So this actually defines some basic property of an item, which is the name, quantity, and price. And the beginning of my code, from the first line of code, I have to include the IO stream for standard input and output, vector for the container, and I'm using string, more like a string type. Okay, and I'm also using chrono to delay functionality, and I also have the T thread, more like thread, for sleep and delay, so that is for ending the program. And I also have the F stream, so for file input and output. Okay, so here um, I made use of some virtual functions, okay, virtual function and inheritance in this code. Okay, so I added that in the code just to modify the code. I created a subclass called perishable item that inherits from it inherits from item and adds an expiring date. The display function is marked virtual in the base class and is overridden in the subclass. So this demonstrates polymorphism in programming. So now it's calling the display on a base pointer, which works correctly whether it's pointing to an item or perishable item. All right, so we're also going to see all of that. Here we have the virtual. Okay, so looking at the comment, so I have the item more like the constructor, and I also have the virtual item. So virtual destructor import for inheritance with dynamic memory. Okay, and the virtual function to display item info can be overridden. Now virtual void display. Now we have the name, quantity, price, all of them under the display. Okay, and all of this can be overridden. And here I have the visual function to serialize object data to a string for file writing. Now all of this is going to be written in a file, and that file is going to be saved in the same folder of my code. And all I wanted to do is just visual string, serialize, constant, and I'm going to return the name plus a comma plus to string quantity. Now take those quantity which is coming as a number or a numeric, take that and then turn it to string and then put that in the file. Now this has a comma and then take the price, turn it to a string and then put that in that file. So that is where we are going to use this, and then we're using it to save our files so that it will be readable. Okay, and also have the accessor methods which gets the getter is more like the getter, the setter, the immutator methods. Okay, and then I'm also using a dynamic memory. That's the new and delete. Okay, all items are stored as pointer in a vector. So I'm just gonna quickly show about the vector overriding serialized to include expiring date. Okay, and then all right, so I have this um, void save function to save inventory to file. Okay, so if I hover around this, it's going to load function to save inventory to file. Okay, all right, so that is the vector whereby item and the inventory. All right, so using the off string and if string. Okay, this save the file and this loads the file. Okay, so we can say this function to load inventory from file. Okay, I every time I add an item, I use the new to dynamically allocate it at the end of the program. Okay, I use delete to free all memory, avoiding memory leaks. So to avoid memory leaks, I use the delete. Okay, all right, so very quickly, I'm just gonna now this display inventory. This is a function to display inventory. On my last video, I made this video and then I said this is a function to display an inventory. So whatsoever the user input in the inventory and then request to view that can be viewed. Okay. All right. So just gonna quickly and here like I said, we have the function to load file. Okay, function to load the file. So all of this function for reading and writing. Okay, so you understand that I made use of the inventory. So in the file reading and writing, okay, I implemented the save inventory and the load inventory functions. Okay, and then why I did that is making use of off stream and if stream to save the current inventory to a file and read it back when needed. This makes the program persistent. You don't lose your data when the program closes. Okay. So with this save inventory, load inventory, I won't be able to lose any file, okay, or any data. And making use of the delete, I'm going to quickly show where I made use of the delete. So delete item, okay, making use of the delete just to quickly be able to manage the file, okay, to avoid data leak. All right, so we could say load existing inventory from file if it exists. So load that and then bring it to the user. Okay, so that is what all of this does. Okay, so in the load inventory, say if stream file inventory dot text open file string line. The first line, read each line from the file line, get line. Okay, and then um put a short form of the POS1 equals to line dot find this. So I'm using all of this to be able to read the file, okay, to be able to read the file. All right, so I'll just quickly move on to the main menu, the main program entry point. So the main program entry point in the main menu and user interaction. So here the user will be able to interact with the program, okay. So the user will be able to interact with the program. The menu lets user choose to add new items, view all items, save to file, load from file, or exit. Okay, this is all what the main menu will be doing. I use a loop and conditional statement to handle these choices. So the if statement, okay, else if, else if, the while loop, the for loop, I made use of the loop system here. And make use of this loop to be able to handle the user's choice. Okay, so I'm going to quickly run this code and show you what it looks like. All right, so I'm just gonna run it from here and I'm gonna wait for it. So I just want us to notice that on the left hand side I have my file inventory. This is the previous file. Now the file I'm using now is the inventory underscore system dot cpp, that is C++, and I don't have any text file here, so everything I'm going to be doing here will be saved to that file. I'm going to choose one as an option, and now the program has started. Okay, asking for an item, so I'm going to say banana. I love banana. All right, so three. The quantity for the banana is going to be 3, and the price for the banana, let's take for instance the banana is $2. Okay, that is $2. I'm going to say two, approximately everything is $6, so I'm going to put that down. Yes, banana is perishable, and let's say yes, banana is perishable, and it's going to ask for enter expiration date and put it in this format. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, banana is going to expire 2025 same day, and then we are June. So it's 06, it's going to expire the same June. Today is 17. Let's say it's going to expire by 19. The banana should spoil, okay? All right, item added successfully. Let's add another item by selecting one. Put it that in. Okay, this time around, let's choose chocolate. Chocolate, and we are having 5 quantities of chocolate, and it's going to be $50. Perishable, yes, perishable. So if perishable, just choose one, and if it's not perishable, choose zero. So I'm going to say yes, perishable, and it's going to expire 2026 December 4th. Okay. Item added successfully. Okay. So let's add something that is not perishable. I want to buy some materials. Let's say materials are not perishable. Okay. So this material is going to be Gucci. So okay, so oh no. Oh, let's kill that. Okay, I mistakenly click on the tab and then the program ran into an issue, so it's just looping. Sorry about that. So let's see if we can view our item. Okay, we don't have anything in the inventory, so let's add something there. Let's go back again. Banana. So let's add two bananas this time, and let's say everything is $4. Perishable, yes. Let's add perishable. 2025, and it's going to expire since we're in June. By 19th, it's going to expire. Item added successfully. Let's add another thing. The name chocolate. Chocolate. Let's add that. We need four this time. And let's add the price. Let's say 5.67. Perishable, yes, it's perishable, but it's going to expire 2026. We say it's going to expire December. Let's add four. All right, so let's add something that is not perishable. So let's choose another choice and Gucci. So that's Gucci material, and then there's buy three and 56.1 perishable. Let's say no, it's not perishable. All right, so let's view our inventory. So in our inventory, we have banana quantity 2, price 4, and it is perishable. It is gonna expire 2025 06 9 19. Okay. And for chocolate, the same. We have expiring date. All right. So Gucci is not perishable. So you see, it's not perishable, and it overrides that. It's not gonna bring that to the terminal. All right. So this time, let's save our file. Let's save our items. Okay. I just want you to look at the left side of this program. When I click on, okay, this time let's click 4. Okay, 4 is going to tell us invalid choice, try again. So all of that is working. So let's choose 3. Okay, exiting program, goodbye. So exiting program, goodbye. We're already having our text file inventory. All right, so this is what we all have in our inventory: banana, chocolate, Gucci. On this time, let's divide the screen. So let's take this one out. So we still have our code here. Now let's see if we can add another thing there. So this time we are killing this terminal and we are running another program. So running another program, we save our file inventory to the inventory.txt. Okay. So this time around we're running another program, but we want to see if we lost our file. So that is when we're going to load the file with the load inventory function. So this time, let's check with this choice. Let's choose two to view our inventory. All right. So in our inventory, we have banana what we had previously. Okay. So which means the program is loading the file properly. And this is all what we have in the event tree. Now let's make another choice by adding something. And this time around, I want us to look at the top right corner of my screen to see if something is going to add up in that file. Okay, so this time we are adding vegetable oil. Okay, so vegetable oil, and we need 4 cans of vegetable oil, and it's going to cost about 150, 105 bucks. That's a point one. Okay, let's add that. That is a price. Is it perishable? Yes, it's perishable, but it's going to expire 2026, and this time around it's expiring February and February 20th of February. So that is added successfully. So let's add something that is not perishable by clicking on one, and let's add a fridge. All right, so this not how to spell fridge. Okay. Fridge. So we just want to get one fridge for cooling our drinks, okay? And this costs about 250 bucks. Is it perishable? No, 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 it is not. Okay, so item added successfully. All right, we want to view our item. All right, this time around we added vegetable oil to the item, and we added a fridge for cooling our drinks, and it's about 250 bucks. But this time let's save it into the file. So we're going to click on save it. All right, so we have our vegetable oil and we have our fridge. Okay, so that is exactly how this program works. Okay, now I'm just going to share a little challenge I had while creating this code. Okay, so one of my big challenge was learning to manage memory with pointers. Okay, ensuring I use the delete properly. I also had to really understand how inheritance and virtual function work in C++. But building this from scratch, I was able to understand C++ classes and file and the object-oriented principle much better. Okay. Uh, all right. So thank you very much for watching. This project has really helped me to connect C++ programming to real world use. Okay, I am proud to have built a function object oriented event tree system with modern C++ techniques. So I feel very happy to have created this to solve real world problem. Okay, all right, so please feel free to ask any question or give feedback. I was able to use the claim clip charm, okay, like I said previously, to be able to make this video and be able to push that to my YouTube so as to allow everyone to watch this. All right, thank you once again for sticking around with me to go through my codes. All right.